Hi all, welcome to PowerShell for Penetration Testers at Pentester Academy. In this video, let's have a look at some of the advanced features of PowerShell scripting. Let's have a look at dot sourcing, which we have been using in past examples, like when we had a look at the PowerShell functions. Also, we will see commandlet binding attribute of the PowerShell script. So let's quickly write a PowerShell function. Note that even though PowerShell functions are not required to follow the verb noun naming convention, we are doing so. We will get back to it in a couple of minutes. Let's right now quickly create a parameter called file path, which would be used by this commandlet to remove files. And let's save it with the name of show advanced script. Now, to load this show advanced script function in memory, we need to run the script with dot sourcing. That is, put a dot in the front of script call. Okay, let's run this now, and we can see that the function has been loaded into memory, and it could be used to remove files from any path. Okay, but instead of, or let's remove it, let's remove this file. It has been removed. We can surely implement checks for the existence of file, but right now, having seen the dot sourcing, let's move on to the commandlet binding attribute of a PowerShell script. This attribute, if specified in a script, allows the script to behave as a pre-compiled commandlet. That is why we use the commandlet naming convention. And not only that, commandlet binding provides some new interesting features. One of those is the ability to print verbose output. For example, now let's rerun the script to load the new function or the modified one. Now, if we run this with verbose parameter, we will see a verbose output, which is very useful when we write some of the complex scripts. Commandlet binding also provides a very interesting attribute called supports should process. Supports should process allows two very useful features. One is the what if parameter, which shows us that what would be the result of the execution of our script. As you can see that here it says that the operation would be to remove file, and the file would be this. It also provides another interesting parameter called the confirm, where the script confirms with the user whether he or she wants the operation to be done. Let's say no for now, and it aborts. We can also customize the way of the message and the action shown when using the what-if or the confirm parameter. So let's use file path here with the message we want to be shown. Now if we run the function or the script with what-if, we can see that the operation performed will be deleting file permanently, which we mentioned here, on the target, which we mentioned here. Also, we can use this with the confirm parameter. The last thing of commandlet binding which we would be discussing is the parameter checks it implement. Recall that when we were having a look at the advanced functions, we saw that the extra parameters passed to a PowerShell function is caught by the args array. If we use the commandlet binding parameter, passing extra parameters would result in an error. So commandlet binding also provides an easy to use parameter check. As an exercise, recall an earlier exercise where we accepted parameters for stopping a process or a service. After learning this, add the commandlet binding attribute and support should process to it to confirm with the user prior to stopping a running service or process. Again, prior to stop a running service or process, there should be a confirmation from the user. So that is all for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you are enjoying your time at Pentester Academy, do recommend us to your friends and colleagues.